Good morning. Today we're going to be looking at the characteristics of quadratic functions, specifically their graphs. And there's a couple of key ideas that I would like you to remember. First, the characteristics of quadratic functions include the following. So these are all the things that you're going to remember once you start working with these graphs, and they're just as important as when we work with linear functions. So we've got the y-intercept. Of course, that's the point where the line or curve crosses the y-axis of the graph. So it crosses this axis. Then we've got the x-intercept, where the point or the line crosses the x-axis. So this would be an x-intercept, and this would be an x-intercept. It's sometimes referred to as solutions, zeros, or roots. We can also look at it as a factor, and we'll talk about that more later. Then we've got the vertex, which is the lowest point or the highest point of the curve. The minimum is the point at which the function is its lowest value. So we look at the y-axis to determine what the minimum would be here. We would look at the y-axis or the number on the y-axis to determine what would be the maximum point here. And then we've got the axis of symmetry, and that's the line through which the parabola is divided into two equal parts. So there's a line that's going to go right through the vertex, and that divides the parabola in half. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So we've got, look at this graph. What are the coordinates of the vertex? So remember, the vertex is the very lowest point, and the way that you know the vertex is that you just basically say the ordered pair. The vertex here would be at 0, 0. What is the y-intercept after we look at this graph? Well, let's see. The y would be whatever or wherever the parabola crosses the y-axis, which is right here. So the y-intercept would be -5. What is the minimum value of this function? So what we're looking for is we're going to go down to the lowest point right here, and you want to state what the y value is. So the minimum function would be not -5, not -6, but -7. And then let's continue. We've got, look at this graph. What is the maximum value? So again, we go to the very top of the graph and we look at the y value. So let me show you what I mean. If I wrote the ordered pair of this function, this is my x and this is my y. So if you're having a hard time, just write the ordered pair, and you're going to pick this number right here. So it would be 0. And just like, let me go back to this one right here. If I wrote the ordered pair of this, it would be +1, 2, and -7. So my minimum would be the y value right here. Let's look at this graph. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry? So we know when we have an equation, it has to be something equals something else. So when we're talking about the equation of the axis of symmetry, remember I told you the axis of symmetry splits the parabola in two. So let's go ahead and write the ordered pair of this of the vertex, which is -1, -2, and +1. So I went 2 to the left and up 1. Now, the axis of symmetry is always going to be the x value, because this is the line right here that splits the parabola into two symmetrical parts. So I would say x is equal to -2. That is the axis of symmetry. Here, what is the maximum value of this function? So again, let's write the ordered pair of this. It would be 0, 1, 2, 3. That's the ordered pair, and we know for the maximum value, we're talking about the highest value using the y-axis. So our maximum value would be 3. All right, that's the end of this particular lesson. You have your IXL to do, so go ahead and do that. And if you have any questions, please talk to me about it, and I'd be glad to help you.